This is a compatibility reading, but because you're just meeting him, you want to know some things about his character and things like that. I'm going to give you his birth card, and then if you want to do the whole reading, you can just send me $20 for that. However, what I'm going to do right now is just give you his birth card and then the way that you are connected to him. Okay. So he is a 5 of clubs, and that card is called the Quest for Truth. So it means that changes and restlessness of the mind. You will find that these people have a lot of curiosity that keeps them almost constantly on the move. The 5 of heart is their karma card and tells us that they also have many changes in their romantic life as well. And for this reason, they are not usually well suited for marriage. These people are basically adventurous and want to do some exploring and research. For this same reason, things and people associated with commitment are usually avoided like the plague. This makes them nomadic and changeable to the extreme in some cases. The 5 of clubs is the most restless card of all. Though they are very flexible, moves to new homes or change of lifestyles usually do entail many responsibilities and challenges, as symbolized by the 5 of spades in Saturn. The ace of spade in Venus speaks of secret love affairs and indecision about which to choose. This same ace also gives many of them a very sexy and rich voice. The 7 of diamonds in Jupiter is a millionaire's card, and many 5 of clubs have lots of money, though they often spend it or lose it as fast as they get it. Speculation and gambling should be avoided. Though they are luckier than most, their tendency to spend it makes them bad at what gamblers call money management, which is essentially knowing when to quit. They are wonderful in sales and promotion because they level because of their own level. The Virgo and Gemini birthdays often have an especially powerful voice or way of expressing themselves that can bring great success in sales or promotions. Their natural curiosity brings them much knowledge, but they do not apply it often or they stick to one train of thought. This tends to make them skeptics, not even getting satisfaction from their own self-created belief structures. Often a 5 of club will take the opposite side of an argument just so they are not tied down to one concept. An interest in spiritual studies brings more satisfaction in their later years and provides answers that bring some peace into their lives. A spiritual teacher would be helpful in this regard. I don't know if he'll accept me, but hey, depending upon the individual, being a 5 of club can be a blessing or a curse in the realm of relationships. On the high side, they are progressive and can relate to anyone on their level. This makes them well liked and sociable. On the other hand, the fear of commitment can be so great that they attract the most unusual situations and may never have the peace of a deep connection. There will be emotional losses in their life regardless of avoidance, but their attitudes and values tell the real story. The 5 of clubs is considered to be one of the most unmarriageable cards in the deck because of their restless nature. One way or another, most of them avoid commitment as much as possible. If they are cunning as well, they will make it appear as though the reason they are not making a commitment is their partner's fault. In truth, they are deeply afraid that any relationship may deprive them of their freedom. Because of their avoidance of commitment and their ace of spade in Venus, they are often attracted to married people or have secret affairs. They also like to keep their private lives to themselves. The single life is the way for most Five of Clubs, but there are those exceptional ones who settle down and make great contributions in love and work. The Five of Clubs of both genders often make friends with heart males who have a fondness for them. However, there is also a karmic bond between them that can be difficult at times. Clubs, well, you're not. I mean, he not a female, so it don't make no sense to read that. All right, so that's who he is in a nutshell, and that's who he is. And so now I'm gonna go into reading. Your first card though together is Saturn, and that's a teacher, and that's basically Saturn is our hardest period. Saturn is you all first connection. It is the teacher I told you, and he is Saturn to you in the life spread. And what that means is your partner acts as a teacher to you in some ways, and you may or may not like it. He is probably a source of limitation, burden, or other problems for you, being critical of you in some areas and telling you what you should be doing to improve yourself. This can make you mad or feel limited by his or her presence in your life. No, I do know it's a he. Saturn relationships are usually difficult in one or more ways. However, for you, this could be a real opportunity to grow as an individual. If you can take his criticism impersonally and use it constructively, you could make large strides in your personal and professional development. And it all depends upon you and what you choose to do with it. The affirmation for this connection is, I choose my partner to help me grow and become more mature and responsible. I accept them as my as my teacher and guide. As my teacher and guide. I just saw the word solar. So I don't know. Like, I knew that you guys had a lot of past life together. So I guess that's what's coming up. So Mars is your next connection that you have with Mr. Five of Clubs, and he is Mars to you in your spiritual life. So the two of you were probably brothers, lovers, or competitors in a past life. Thus, there's a lot of passion and a passionate Mars energy between you. I told you that. I told you that. This manifests as either a lot of lust, anger, or both. Do things together to channel this powerful physical energy, and you will have less of the anger and competition part. The connection can produce either a powerful physical and sexual attraction or powerful competitive and hostile feelings. In some cases, you will have both. Know that these feelings are a result of being together before in a similar role, and that now you can channel the enormous energy stirred up by this relationship into positive channels for greater success and happiness. In astrology, there are aspects of Mars, and the Mars is in the 11th house, that indicate people who were considered enemies in a former lifetime that we are drawn to be with again to work out our differences. Spiritual spread Mars relationships can act in the same way. Anyone with whom you share this connection could be an enemy from a past life with whom you have unfinished business. However, when two lovers come together with this connection, there is usually some past life attraction that never had the opportunity to fully be expressed. This can create a powerful attraction between two people, along with the unconscious desire to fulfill some desires that were left incomplete in a formal life. In these cases, the relationship represents a fulfillment of passionate energies and can be quite enjoyable. There are cases, though, where two lovers are drawn together who were also enemies before. Though the passion is very much present, there can also be considerable resentment and competitive feelings that surface later in a relationship as the real reason for their being together becomes realized and manifested. The affirmation for this connection is, my partner excites me and stimulates me. I can use this energy constructively and passionately to better my life. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, this is cosmic, okay? So basically, you are his lifetime cosmic lesson card. And this is going to be in his life spread and his spiritual spread, because it is 2 times right behind each other. So it's definitely you about to hear this for a while, because you got 2 connections right behind each other. This connection implies that your presence in the life of your partner is one that will teach him much that he needs to know and learn in this lifetime. Whether you are critical of the way you do certain things or you play the role of teacher in his life, there is much of value that you can learn, that he can learn from you. However, don't expect him to always like the lessons or be anxious to hear about the ways you can improve who he is or what he is doing. Even if you don't say anything, your presence in his life is teaching him invaluable lessons that may someday he may express gratitude for. In the meantime, there may be personality conflicts as these lessons are learned. And remember, so this is going to go back and forth with you guys, because remember, he's your Saturn. He's your teacher. So he's teaching you too from a different perspective. But you his cosmic lesson, so he got to listen so he can get to his true highest self. Now, the way you affect your partner may not have much to do with what you consciously do or say. This is a connection that is not well understood and is more subtle than most. It has it has Sagittarian qualities to it, because in essence it represents a higher octave of Saturn, the great teacher. In some fashion, you are a teacher to your partner. The way this Saturn connection typically operates in our relationships is, it is not necessarily what we are consciously saying or doing that makes it challenging for our partner, but just our presence in his life somehow reminds them of where they might be lacking. So that's the problem right there. Where you feel you lacking, he's lacking, you can sense that, and he can sense it when you're around. Now, in the case of this connection, you remind your partner of where they could be in terms of their life's work. This can be disconcerting or extremely constructive, depending upon how they take it and respond to it. If this connection is similar, 1 or 2, you are likely playing an extremely important role in the development of his character and destiny. This connection can be challenging on a compatibility level, especially from your partner's point of view. And therefore, it can work against long-term ease and peacefulness. However, handled in the right way by the right person, it could be the most important relationship of your lives. Now, the affirmation for this connection is: I remind my partner of a significant aspect of his highest potential. I choose him what he can do and become. I show him what he can do and become. I have things floating in here, so it's a lot going on with you guys cosmically. Like, I'm seeing different words and feelings, and I'm sitting outside under the moonlight, but it's so much that's going on in this relationship, spiritually wise. So you are his spiritual cosmic lesson. Though difficult to describe, this connection is one that can be very important to either you or him. Seriously interested in whoever is seriously interested in self-development and personal transformation. This connection implies that you act as a teacher to your partner, someone who leads him to a more mature and self-responsible way of thinking and looking at themselves and their role in our world. You represent part of their cosmic destiny or role. As such, you have a profound effect on him. On a mundane level, you could find that you are often critical of him. And you can find that you are often critical of him and sometimes even harsh. For this reason, he may not always appreciate your contribution to his life or enjoy your company. The only difference between this connection and the previous one, okay, because we switch connections, is that this one stems from connections in the spiritual spread instead of the life spread. So the first one that I was talking about was from the life. This is the spiritual spread. This means that the connection is likely to have stemmed from a past life association that left some unfinished business to be completed in this lifetime. In this example, it is likely that you are repaying your partner, being a teacher for him in some way that will help him to take more responsibility for his contribution to the world in this lifetime. How he handles your influence to his life is likely to reflect through his own relationship with his inner sense of connectedness with his life's purpose. You could be just a person that helps him to crystallize his desire to do something meaningful with his life. So I said confirmation. Well, I guess we confirming it. So I mix connection and affirmation together. I remind my partner of a significant aspect of his highest potential. I show him what he can do and become. The next connection is Venus, and more past life. So he is Venus to you in the spiritual spread. There is a strong love bond between you that is difficult to explain because it is love that was created in a past life. For this reason, you probably experienced what is called love at first sight when you first met. The sense of familiarity that you feel for each other is also the result of a subconscious link, a link that was created by being together before and having worked on your relationship a great deal at that time. The two of you have a lot of appreciation for each other and thus are very compatible. You enjoy each other's company and find that you like many of the same things in life. You basically find pleasure in similar things and in being together. This is a very good connection for marriage or any kind of relationship, even without doing anything. There's a strong love bond between you that could be the foundation for a successful relationship of any type in this lifetime. Given this good, solid foundation, you need only decide what to build on it. And the affirmation for this connection is my partner and I share a deep love connection that is hard to explain but very evident. Our love seems to be internal. Now, this is a great connection, but you just got to remember who he is as a person and about his restlessness and things like that, just like who he is as a person. So you do have a lot of past life together, which is good, but it's just you got to think about who he is and what's going on with that. And so, alrighty, right?